This On, Season 7, Episode 13, where we watch The Surreal Life, Season 7, Episode 1. And I got a dad body, the dad face. I'm Chris Lorenz.
This is Brian, and I body slam bitches for a living.
This is Dennis Rodmax. The haunted energy that's connected with Stormy is not from my world.
Those are references to the show we watched this week, but last week we watched Drink Masters on Netflix, Season 1, Episode 1, and we had a poll on Twitter, and you guys voted the show as a top third show. So there you go. Let us know what you thought about this week's show on Twitter at Who Put This On in our poll. And if this is your first time joining us, we watch a different show each week, discussing it in minute detail, figuring out if it's good or bad. Brian, what was this show?
This week we watched The Surreal Life on VH1. 8 stars, including Dennis Rodman, Stormy Daniels, and Frankie Muniz, step away from celebrity life, move into a house together, and learn about one another and themselves.
Okay, before we kick this off, do we have to ban VH1? Because this show is hot goddamn garbage.
No, we don't ban VH1. If we're gonna ban anything, we gotta ban Discovery. Like we put these bans up, and
Discovery had Contraption Masters. VH1 has this hot garbage.
This is among the worst that we've done in quite some time.
It is terrible. It's just 8 fucking random people interacting. It's the stupidest thing I've ever seen. Well, no one cares.
Here's the thing. They are not interacting. They are all trying to be the main character. There's no synergy between the people.
There is a main character, and it's Dennis Rodman.
Yes, he's the only one who's not trying to act cool because he is cool.
There's definitely some people that are acting like you're saying, Max, like this August fellow. Just fucking give it a break, dude. Like he's killing it. He's killing me. And just like other people are I just don't care.
What is that dude's claim to fame?
He was a music artist, and also The Entanglement.
Max, do you know what The Entanglement was?
I don't think I do.
So
it's this guy. Okay, I know who he is. I internet cornered. He was entangled with Will Smith's wife while they were still a thing.
Well, they were separated, but not divorced.
Right.
All right, let's just go through the people quick. We got Stormy Daniels, famous for being a porn star, or really famous for banging Donald Trump and getting a quote-unquote payout. We got August Alsina.
Mm-hmm.
That's his name. He's an R&B singer and songwriter. We got CJ Perry. She is a WWE superstar or former superstar. Don't really know. Doesn't really go into too much about that.
Her name was Lana.
Yeah, Lana in the WWE. She was also in Perfect 1 and 2. We got Dennis Rodman, which 5-time NBA champion Dennis Rodman. They got Frankie Muniz from Malcolm in the Middle. Famously claimed that he didn't have any memories of Malcolm in the Middle and has been slowly pulling that back ever since he said it. So unclear. Then we got Kim Coles. She's an actress, comedian, and author. She was in Living Color too.
I had never heard of that show.
They're BET shows, so not really your demographic.
I saw them on like TV. I didn't really have cable, so you would just see like some like shows from all over the place.
I've heard of Living Color before,
yeah,
definitely heard of it. Then we got
57
Manny Mua or MUA, which is a Instagram YouTuber that does makeup stuff.
Yeah, teaches you how to put on makeup. 10 million followers. That feels like a drop in the bucket compared to like some other people, though.
Yeah, then we got Tamara Braxton. She's a Grammy Award nominated singer and songwriter. She was in a different reality show called Braxton Family Values and its spinoff, Tamara and Vince.
Did Tamara actually hook up with Dennis Rodman?
No, Tori Braxton, who is an actual famous singer, and her sister briefly dated Dennis Rodman.
Okay.
Yeah, they brought that up briefly on the show. What else? So those are the 8 people on the show. Obviously, you got Dennis Rodman is the most famous. Then probably Malcolm in the
Oh,
Malcolm in the Middle.
obviously Malcolm.
Yeah, and then the rest of the people are just kind of
Yeah.
they're in. Who cares what tier they're in after that? Like some are better than others, but still.
I think like given like your demographic, like I kind of like that they put people from all over the map, and it's funny how seeing them like get introduced a little bit or joking about it. It's like, oh, I knew Frankie Muniz. I grew up watching Malcolm in the Middle, but other people probably don't know.
So Manny Mua comes out of the house. Dennis is obviously already there, but he claims he doesn't know who Dennis Rodman is. Do we believe this?
I would believe it.
I mean, he seemed like he didn't know.
Well, he also had to back away after that, and he probably just did some Googling or like asked the producers, like, who is that guy?
Yeah. How do you go in this house and not know who's going to be in the house?
They probably don't tell you.
Yeah, that ruins like the part of the surprise. It's like, oh, I'm going into this house. Who's going to be here? Oh my god,
It's Dennis Rodman.
Okay.
Oh my god, it's Stormy Daniels.
Chris, I have a weird anecdote for you. I'm thinking I don't really care about sports that much. So how do I know Dennis Rodman? I know him through the whole North Korea shit.
Oh yeah, he went to North Korea.
So I'm saying if this guy doesn't care about sports or North Korea, maybe he doesn't know about Dennis Rodman. Or maybe he knows the name but can't put a face on the guy.
I mean, Dennis Rodman has done a ton of stuff. Like even doing like random wrestling bits. Like that's just it's wild.
Do,
He
do you
didn't
think
introduce
Benny
himself-
Mua is watching wrestling? I mean, he could be.
Yeah,
I don't think he's doing anything contemporary.
no, but like the thing is, like he's done like so much. Dennis introduced himself with the line, "I'm known for doing one thing, being Dennis Rodman," and there's never been a more accurate statement.
That is fair.
Yeah, I mean he's known in the '90s for being on the Bulls, winning three championships in a row, and like famously like going out and partying and like winning championships, like being fucking baller. Like I don't know how this dude lived. Is really what he's should be famous for. Like go watch The Last Dance and you'll get a sense of who Dennis Rodman is. Highly recommended.
I'm pretty sure he's only fueled by cigars.
He was definitely smoking a cigar in like every scene.
Yeah, I think he did like 3 or 4 in this episode.
I mean, obviously.
Oh Lord.
Okay, so you get 8 of these people in a room, in a house, right? Like, then what? Like, what are you doing with these people? Like, in this episode.
Take it away, Chris.
Yeah, in this episode, they're doing like field trips. I feel like I'm watching a fucking like elementary school. They like go to this like lucha libre thing and make characters that are literally on screen for 3 fucking seconds and like don't matter. And then they come back to the house and the producers are like, "Hey, Mua, go in and say, let's do True Truth and a Lie." And they do True Truth and a Lie. And like, then the episode's fucking over. And I understand that like, you got your intro episode, you got to intro all these people, but man, like, I lost interest like so quick.
I have never been more bored watching a show. I mean, that's probably not true, but
That's definitely not true. But this definitely kept my attention for like half the episode while they were introing, and like the initial interactions with some people were interesting, but like once they're there,
they're doing nothing.
yeah, it's just like they're drinking and talking, and like do not care what these people do at all.
Like, listen,
Doing anything interesting.
If they're drinking and talking, but also hooking up, sure. But they're not hooking up in the show. They're not secretly a mole. They're not secretly a chef. You know, they're doing fucking nothing.
Well, that is part of the problem. I think this is just like the generic like. There's nothing behind the show. It's just we're hanging out, and every other reality show has something else tacked onto it. You're gonna hang out and date. You're gonna hang out and do challenges.
What are they doing in Big Brother? Because I feel like this is Big Brotheroid.
That was like, but they had like the hooking up and like
Yeah.
politicking and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, they kick people out of that show.
There
And
was a challenge, I think.
Not in this show.
No, not in this
They
show.
they like made a claim that like somebody's gonna leave the house at some point, but like unclear if that's actually ever gonna happen.
Yeah, I don't think you do that. I don't think you reduce the number of people in this house to like reduce the entertainment. Like
Yeah.
you just pay for them to be here for 2 weeks and you let the cameras roll.
Well, the other note I have is like the beginning of the show was this season on, which was hella long. It must have been like 3 or 4 minutes long. And like, it's a little better because I know Dennis Rodman and I know the Malcolm in the Middle guy, Frankie Muniz. So like I could see what they were doing. But like I've always complained about this season on the beginning of an episode because I don't know who these people are. So I don't really care what they do. But then this season on was really long and hella boring.
Well, I don't know. I wouldn't say that it was like hella boring, but like it was.
I'm just saying if these were the best 3 minutes you could come up with from a whole season of television, then I ain't watching it.
Well, I mean, that's part of the problem. I think that like whenever they put that reel at the beginning, they're just trying to hook you in with like the best they got, and it's like if you like this, you're in.
And that should have been the sign to turn it off.
Well, we didn't heed that, and also Max was watching it already.
Max, you screwed us.
Sorry, I didn't choose this. I am not the one who screwed. I am innocent.
VH1 is really, I think, to blame here because they produced this thing.
Worst human being, VH1.
There you go. Let's see. Should we just go through some other minutia we got here? Let's get through it. So we talked about the entanglement, right? Then we have Stormy Daniels comes in like after this whole Lucha Libre thing, and that's fine, whatever. And like half the people didn't know who she was, and then we find out, they find out like, oh, she slept with Donald Trump, but then she has this creepy ass doll.
Oh my god!
I think was it Susan?
Yep.
There's the name of the doll. And people in this house are freaking out over this doll. She says it's a haunted doll, and August like flips the fuck out and like takes the mattress to the pool area. He's like, "You ain't sleeping in my room. I don't need that haunted energy in my life." And it's just like, oh my god, these people, like, they need therapists in this house. They don't need.
I mean, they don't actually believe in this haunted doll. It's just
I'm just saying the way that I can only go by the edit, Max.
Sure.
This is the edit. This dude looked nuts. The edit made him look nuts. He won the show. They let him edit it that way. I'm doing what I'm doing here. I can't question every single moment of every reality TV show. But you are right, Max. This guy is definitely overplaying his hand in the show.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I would believe if one person was freaking out, but not everybody. The fact that everybody was just like, if that thing blinks, I'm going to lose it. Okay, dude. Like, you know what's going on. It's a fucking doll. Even if it has blinked, it's a battery.
She brought in a prop for prop comedy, and people are playing off it.
It wasn't necessarily everyone. Like Dennis Rodman had your intro line, which was pretty funny.
No,
and then
he just wanted to see that motherfucker walk.
Then August was freaking out, and somebody else also didn't like it. Who the fuck knows which one it was?
That was Manny Mua,
and that was it. There was only a couple people.
But I feel like there was another person, but I can't remember. It doesn't matter. Anyway. Like just. Yeah, that's a good point. Somebody brought in a prop, and everybody's playing off it. Everybody's acting. This loosely is reality TV.
I mean, I feel like it seems better than like the Kim Kardashian stuff, like that stuff, and the Real Housewives stuff. Like, doesn't really matter. I don't think we need to argue about it.
Which one is worse?
She also said she lived in a haunted church and is a paranormal investigator. Stormy Daniels did.
Do you think she was a paranormal investigator when she was getting stooped by Trump?
No, she had a different job then. But now,
Yeah,
Yeah.
she was an actor in a movie called Smilf.
wait, what is this movie about?
I don't know. It's called Smilf. It's,
Should,
I believe it would be a super MILF, but who
Chris,
knows?
should we look this up?
Does
I
does
mean,
that imply his name should be Sman?
yeah, her IMDb is huge. It's like 162 credits on IMDb.
Good for her. Like, that's actually pretty good to like branch out like that. The paranormal stuff, it's whatever. Living in a church, you got cheap rent. Good job. And everything echoes.
Is it cheap?
I don't
Okay. Stormy Daniels was in Mississippi Ghost Hunters. So that's why
Is
she's
that a TV show?
yeah.
Max,
Could-
there could be like a ghost show for every state. Easily.
Maybe we have to do it for we didn't do
No, I'm out.
we didn't do a Halloween episode this
No.
year.
What is the least haunted state?
Doesn't matter. I don't know.
Probably,
Not getting into
probably
that.
Hawaii.
no. We killed so many Hawaiians.
Oh, damn, you're right.
It just doesn't matter.
Okay,
So I don't remember the show. Maybe Max will remember the show.
yeah.
But like, I don't know, like 4 years ago for Halloween, we watched some show that was this show. It was like 8 to 10 celebrities in a house. But it was
Oh
a
yeah.
haunted house. And that show is also equally as bad because it was celebrities, but no one has ever heard of any of them. And I don't remember that show, what the show was called.
Man, yeah. It's like Halloween. You're stuck in a house. The show.
It's like Scared
Famous.
Scared Famous, yes. Max, which show is worse? Scared Famous or this one?
Possibly this one. Scared Famous. Like at least it was goofy.
Yeah, I mean, like people really, I think were hamming it up way more in that show, but at least it was like a premise to the show.
Sure, there was
Like-
something going on. They were gonna get spooked.
Like what?
Nobody gets spooked in the show.
Like this is called the Surreal Life, and Surreal has like definition of like just kind of being like dreamlike quality. You know, it's like out there. What the fuck Surreal is about the show?
Wow, I can't believe Dennis Rodman and Malcolm in the Middle are in the same room with me. So surreal, am I right,
It's
guys?
like I get to watch has-been celebrities.
Has been
Uh,
and current. And that's the only
wha-
thing that's surreal about it.
What other minutia do people have about this show? I got a couple.
I got go ahead.
So the wrestler CJ Perry has these insane pants with a built-in whale tail,
That was really good.
but it was like on the front and the back. It was nuts. I haven't seen a whale tail in 20 years.
It was
Wait.
also watercolored.
Wait, what is a whale tail? Do I need to Google this?
Yes, you should.
It's consider like 2000 to 2002 a G-string pulled up way above the pant line.
Oh, this is what that one was wearing.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was really weird because it was like she was wearing pants over it.
Yep.
Okay,
Just a nuts look.
It's part of it.
it was definitely nuts look.
I will say, when they introduced Frankie Muniz, I was like, "Oh, Frankie Muniz is the host," and then no, he's just a contestant.
There is no host. They got celebrities.
Side note: Frankie would be a great wrestler. His was a highlight of the luchador segment.
The little
Is-
cleaner. Initially, I was like, "That's a really weak name," but it actually kind of makes sense. Like, oh yeah, I'm gonna clean you up. Like, just get you
Yeah.
out of here. Take out the trash.
Some other notes I've got. What did I write? Dennis Rodman at like dinner, like he was like people were drinking and he just started singing the "Put the Lime in the Coconut" song, like really weird. And if that was the whole show, just Dennis Rodman being really weird around people, like if this was Impractical Jokers, and like Dennis Rodman just has to do escalatingly weird things until they quit the show, like that's an infinitely better show, right?
Ooh, that'd be
Absolutely.
pretty good.
Like, okay, 70, you're on the Surreal Life. Dennis Rodman, you're in there. You got to do what we say in this headset. Go.
I
Are
don't
there
think
any?
you need to do that. Just let him go.
I know, but like they got to really lean into the Dennis Rodman's fucking bananas. And
That's
I
fair.
think that helps. Then you get the behind the crew. The thing about Impractical Jokers is like laughter is infectious. So you have the people behind the scenes laughing the whole time with you, and that's what you really need. You need like everyone like like laughing along with Dennis Rodman or laughing at Dennis Rodman with you, right? This is why we need to be the producers here.
Yeah, we can easily run these shows.
We need to like. They really need to like level up like what they're doing. I don't understand. The only absolute audience I could ever see for this show is if you like read People magazine regularly, and only thing in your life, the only thing about your life is following celebrities.
Do you think
Yeah.
Kim Jong Un is watching this show?
Absolutely.
I don't know. I don't know if they had a falling out. I haven't followed up my Dennis Rodman North Korea stuff.
I think it's more his father was obsessed, but
some other notes I have. So Stormy Daniels has really big boobs. Like they're big. They're like porn star boobs.
No.
that would make sense.
And then Manny Mua, he didn't know who Dennis Rodman was, and he was my quote was from him. He said he had a daddy body with a mommy face, which I thought was a good quote. And
What kind of mommies is he looking at?
I don't know. That's his quote. Don't look at me. He's also
I'm looking at you.
He's Latino, and he was brought up Mormon, which is a interesting combination.
I know a Peruvian Mormon.
All right.
Maybe it's not as wild as you think, Chris.
Not. What about other ideas to spice up the show? Maybe we'll add this as like one of our questions. Like, what could you do? What would you do differently to spice the show up?
Actually do a challenge of some kind. Like, actually be like, oh yeah, you got the best. You get a little award or something.
What if we had a point system where they had
Yeah.
to like, try to earn points?
Sure.
And then the more you could cash in your points for food.
So now you're just starving them? Oh my God.
No, you just give them alcohol. You give them alcohol, and then you have to exchange your points for food.
Oh man. That would
What if they were all naked?
I mean, there was one scene that was just like, yeah, we all saw Dennis Rodman's dong.
That was in the season on. If you want to see some blurred out Dennis Rodman, here we are. I'm sure you can find some naked Dennis Rodman pics on the internet.
You absolutely can.
That's not a hard sell.
What if they were all children?
What if they were real celebrities? All right.
Are there any shows that are made better by celebrities being there?
That's a good question.
Maybe Masked Singer.
The talk show format kind of works with celebrities and doesn't really work without celebrities. I'd say some UK like panel shows are way better.
Yeah. But also you have to be funny to be on a panel show.
I don't know necessarily. Like some of the panel shows are definitely just like late night format, but like better. What about hot ones? Like hot ones with regular people?
Not really
hot ones with famous people?
Not really a show, but kind of a show.
It's a show. Just because it's on YouTube doesn't mean it's not a show.
I mean, it's an interview. Like I'm kind of with Max. Like it is a show, but it's not like a show.
Yeah, I mean, like interviews. So, I mean, the general statement here is interviews are better.
Yeah.
With celebrities and not.
What about Celebrity Apprentice?
Oh.
What about Celebrity Naked and Afraid?
That one was actually great.
Yeah, go listen to our episode of that to figure out what Joe Rogan and
No, Seth Rogen, not Joe
Seth,
Rogan.
yeah, Seth Rogen,
The good Rogan.
the good one, and the not so good. What's his name?
Franco? Yeah.
Yeah, James Franco. Listen to our episode where our discussion of their episode of Naked and Afraid. That was pretty good. All right, let's get to some questions. We got to move on. Let's just get to it. Who's the worst human being? I think we kind of decided it was VH1.
I think it's Brian for suggesting this show.
Yeah, I'm willing to go on that. I had really high hopes for Dennis Rodman. I mean, those are largely fulfilled, but the rest of it is just.
I mean, the marketing of this show is, hey, Dennis Rodman's on their show, right? Like,
Yeah.
That's the marketing. And Frankie Muniz.
Yeah.
Each person has like their own niche of people. You got the Gen Zers with Mua, and you got the people in the 90s with Living Color and Dennis Rodman. Yeah. There's no host, so we could skip that one. We could go through all 8 people, and is this their apex or not? But it seems pretty boring. What do you think the production schedule of this show is like? And I think I have a hint on this one.
Hit me.
Because they said it in the show. Dennis at some point in the show said 12 days. And I can definitely picture them living in this house for 12 days.
Totally.
And then that's the show.
Easy money.
Easy money.
That's not bad. They're not re-recording anything. Just live here for a couple weeks. Done.
Man. So they're all sitting in this house, and then they have this cell phone package brought up, and like the confessionals, people are like, oh my god, the cell phone is gonna tell us what we're gonna do. It's gonna give us clues. Like they're so excited about this cell phone.
Yeah, excited to not have to deal with a host. Like the producer can be like, whatever. I'm just gonna do something.
It's like we gave you this tablet. Yeah. Maybe you're already so bored because you have nothing else to do.
I can see that.
All right. This is what we really need. We need some drinking rules.
Ooh, I think drink every time Dennis Rodman smokes a cigar.
Not kill people, Brian.
I mean, what's better, like watching the show or dying?
Anytime you see Dennis Rodman naked, blurred or not, finish a drink.
Drink double if you look it up.
Max, what do you got?
Drink every time you look at your phone.
Again, not trying to kill people.
me and Max are on the same page here. I like it.
Let's see. Anytime they bring up anything like not about the show, like, oh, I banged Donald Trump, take a drink.
I was gonna go on.
We're not trying to kill people here, Chris. Jesus.
Yeah. Like that involves even cutaways too, because there was one point where Will Smith was brought up, and of course they panned right over to August, see his reaction.
It's not a great rule for episode 1 because it's all just about reflections. So it might be a episode 2 plus like rule.
Oh, sorry, you're trying to save people.
I'm just trying to get some people to enjoy the show a little bit more with a little bit of beverage. That's all I'm trying to do.
And I'm trying to do the same with a lot of beverage.
Brian, do you have a different one that's not going to kill people or no?
I mean, you drink every time there's a confessional. That's also like a lot. They're always going.
You can't do that one. That's a stock one, and now there's so many confessionals on this episode.
Yeah, I was also kind of thinking like we should add the phone thing to the stock one because it's just if you're so distracted from this show, then
maybe it should be a punishment while we're watching it.
Oh no!
But we're taking notes, so it's hard to tell if you're taking notes or you're just on Reddit.
I got one.
Go ahead.
Every
Max.
time you genuinely laugh, you can down an entire fifth of whiskey. But it's never going to happen. But it's a high stakes drinking rule.
High stakes. I mean, Dennis Rodman's definitely going to make you laugh during the show for sure. He's going to do something so ridiculous.
I don't know, man. I did not laugh all episode.
Wow.
Whoa. Can we put a bet on this, Max?
No, I'm not going to be watching it anymore.
That was the
Like,
real. That was the real goal.
if the bet is Max is never going to take a drink due to watching the show, you're correct.
You can drink every time Susie's on the screen.
Oh
On a doll.
yeah, you got to do that for sure. I mean, I feel like if you're gonna take a stock rule, the stock rule would drink when they drink.
Well, that was also another fun thing. Like some of them don't drink, so you're not. It's not going to be as bad as other reality shows.
Yeah. All right, let's do. Would the show be better as a Quibi or TikTok?
Yes,
Sure.
100%.
you cut out everything else but Dennis Rodman.
I mean, some Frankie Muniz in there, maybe.
That's fine.
I don't know. If you just make my suffering less, you're better.
Thank you.
That's for sure. Who's gonna hook up next, guys?
Oh man, Dennis Rodman is somebody. I don't know who.
Stormy Daniels, probably. They mentioned
Dennis and Susie.
that's a good one. I think that's a possibility. Although Dennis did say Susie is not from his dimension.
Dimension. Oh my god.
I don't know what he actually said, but that's what the inference was. This one's gonna be tough, guys. What do you love about this show?
Dennis Rodman.
Yeah, I knew you were gonna jump in with that.
I don't know. I don't know what I love about the show, to be honest.
I'll go and say that like it just makes it. They brought in a lot of people that I like, and that's the only thing I'm like gonna focus on. The people of my childhood, Frankie Muniz. Let's enjoy some new content from him.
Yeah, I mean, I think that they're trying to bring the positivity into the show with Frankie and Mua, and they're like being friends, and Dennis just like hanging out. I think that the tone they're trying to go for is good, but their casting's not great, and I don't know. That's what I got for you. That's what I got for you. We're just gonna move on. Let's do some ratings. We got a stack ranking system between top, middle, bottom, third shows compared to other reality shows. Brian, give me your rating.
It's tough, but I think that I'm going to go with bottom of the middle. I think that Dennis Rodman is the only thing that like pumped it up to that point.
Unbelievable.
And if he was not in there, it would be immediately in the bottom, like probably middle of the bottom.
Unbelievable. Max.
Bottom third, middle of the bottom. I was bored, but I was not actively disgusted by it. So, excuse me, middle of the bottom.
I'm going to go with bottom third. And if I'm going to put it in a James ranking, it's going to be bottom of the bottom. I think the show is terrible. I have no desire to see another second of the show. I think it's rote and boring. I don't need to see 10 people in a house, eight people in a house that I don't care about. I didn't care about, and I still don't care about. So have fun in your house. I don't need to see it.
Chris,
Bottom of the bottom.
You've convinced me. I'm downgrading to bottom of the bottom.
Yeah,
I was so rote.
I was gonna ask you, like, so I mean, you've been on like 9 episodes this season at least, and one of them statistically needs to be in the bottom of the bottom because there's 9 buckets.
Sure.
I mean, I think there should be some sort of normal distribution. Maybe there should be like skewed distribution, possibly. But like, it's just like this. If we're not skewing it, like this has to be bottom of the bottom.
Agreed.
So there you go. That's our ratings. Let's talk about more fun things. So we do some shout outs. I watch new season of The Dragon Prince is out. So it's really fun, lighthearted, like children show set in a fantasy world. It's animated. It's really good. There's 4 seasons on Netflix. If you like fantasy, it's a really cool world to live in. And there's like, they go on a cool adventure. It's like, and then season 4 started like a new kind of arc. It's really good. Highly recommended.
It's by the Avatar Last Airbender people.
Oh yeah. Brian, you got any shout outs?
Unfortunately, not this week, Chris.
Thanks, Brian. Back to the weather. Max, you have any shout outs this week?
Brought to you from the mind of Survivor runner-up Mike White. It's White Lotus Season 2, now on HBO. Great show. Season 1, fantastic. Season 2, off to a great start.
Did we talk about this last week, Brian?
I don't think we did.
So I've only seen season 2, episode 1. So I don't know if
Okay.
episode 2 will. But like season 1 was really cool because it was about like it's a murder mystery show, and season 2 is also a murder mystery. But season 1 was really funny because it was like you got to see the people of the White Lotus deal with rich assholes and like their narcissism and stuff. But season 2 didn't feature like anyone that really worked at the hotel. very
No,
much.
what about the front desk lady?
I mean, there was a whole lot of just the characters on the show and not the people that work at White Lotus and dealing with the characters on the show.
I agree, and I agree that sort of the scathing view of the rich fucks is the best part of the show. Give it some time to breathe.
No,
I trust them.
I am. I'm not saying I'm done with the show, but I'm waiting to give recommendation on season 2 till I feel like it falls into the right spot. That's
Also, the new remix of the intro song is good.
We remixed our intro, Max. Did you know this?
No,
Right?
No, the White Lotus.
no, the
Oh,
White
White
Lotus.
Lotus, not Who Put This On intro.
No, it's like. How was my?
I'll leave you with one more shout out. Reboot on Hulu is pretty fun. Sitcom-ish show. Highly recommended. There's 8 episodes. Give it a try. It's pretty good. All right, you can find us on Twitter at Who Put This On. You can vote in our poll. Tell us what you thought about this show, where it's top, middle, or bottom. Tweet at us if you think it's bottom of the bottom. Let us know. You can find us on Facebook.com/Who Put This On. You can find us on Instagram at Who Put This On. Are we on Who Put This On or Who Put This On podcast?
Who Put This On podcast?
Yeah. TikTok, Who Put This On podcast. We're on all the things. Email us questions and suggestions at whoputthison@gmail.com. And we'll see you guys next time. You're not the boss of me now. You're not the boss of me now. You're not the boss of me now, and you're not so big.